Good afternoon. I have always. Oh, do not do me good. I'm talking about. Some just tried to cut me off just so fast. But as I was saying, I'm talking about I'm sick of these bussy and dissy people. I am. I got a burp too, huh? Excuse me. This right here is just, ooh, it's getting on my nerves so bad. But y'all see that rock coming? I'm just messing. But anyways, it is getting formed. Something like that anyway. But I do just want to say quickly that I can't I always have been trying to follow the YSL trial during my off time. And yes, as I said, I am going back to work really soon. And so during this last little leisure time that I have, it's just what I've noticed during this trial is that I just really, and even though I didn't listen to the whole thing today, and I know one of my sources that I, let you know, give updates on trials and etc. Particularly this one, the YSL trial. I know they'll have a recap later, but I can just say without even looking at what happened today or what you know um, the state may have, everything pretty much looks staged because I can't get over the staging of a scene at Miss Bennett's apartment. I can't get over the way that Mr. White told on Mr. Murphy, and then Mr. White and Mr. Murphy end up together in a detective car. And once they end up in a detective car, then when they was both in the car together, because the detective, Mrs. Gaither, she testified to this. She said that she picked up Mr. White and she picked up Mr. Murphy. And if I'm wrong, I'll always be corrected. But my thoughts are that's what she did say, that Mr. White and Mr. Murphy, they were picked up at one time, together. And then, but initially it started out Mr. White telling on Mr. Murphy. And I thought that's when he wanted the $20, whatever, whatever. And then once he identified Mr. Murphy, then next thing you know, Mr. Murphy is in interrogation. But then it was the detective said that they met with both of them. So did they come together on something to make it seem like this? I mean, I don't know, but it's a good question at the end of the day because it's staged. It's not adding up at the end of the day, and I don't care how they flip it, reverse it, turn it up, turn it down, and all that. I've said this before. At the end of the day, those are the initial points. Those are the initial truths that need to be followed throughout to find the truth. Because I'm gonna go with what I said yesterday. At the end of the day, it just looks like maybe it looks like maybe things were staged. Maybe things were was orchestrated to find a fall guy for some things other people were accountable for, but they didn't want to do the full capacity of their time. And I still stand on that at the end of the day. So this is gonna be good when it gets, to just the truth. When it gets to the truth of some things, oh man, it's going to be a good case. But I still feel like they just don't have nothing. They not even bringing nothing 1,000. The detective, she can only speculate upon her investigation. True enough, she did investigate it, but it sounds like to me, you know, things were staged for a fall guy or a fall group, should I say, at the end of the day. It, that's why a lot of people always try to convince me. They say, you know what? You can't just be by yourself. You gotta have someone and all this stuff like this. But I assure you, you can do more with less. Just have solid people that really have that's really real with you at the end of the day. And I know a lot of people get tired of hearing me do my little rant and go on and on, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway because I'm having a day drink and I just feel like talking about it at the end of the day. When people say that to me, it's just like, what are you talking about? Because number one, you haven't even made contact with me thus far. Number two, I have reached out. Number three, you still haven't connected, and you say, "Oh, I couldn't trust you, or I didn't know how you would act," and all these excuses you have, but yet and still, you still use my content and my things and trying to pray me out of exactly what you put me into. That's kind of crazy. Um, or had the ability to pull me out of a situation. But that's why I just trust God, because I've never looked for handouts. I've never looked for any of that. It's just, how can you keep talking upon a matter, but you're not taking action towards it? I gotta be, not confident and comparing myself to other people when all it took was one line of contact from maybe you that had the hookup, that had the sources, and it just didn't happen. So why keep saying that like it's the truth and it's not the truth? I'm not getting that part, and nor will I ever get it. Just know, I am aware that people think that I have broken up marriages and things like that. How? Something wasn't standing on the truth, was it? Or is it, they may be saying that about other people, but either way it goes, someone's standing on the truth, because ain't nothing supposed to be so easily separated. If something gets separated, if it's a marriage and it's not in pure and in truth, then that's how things get separated. When something is not true, when it's a lie somewhere, when it's impurity somewhere, that's how marriages get separated and further separated even more. Even if it's the simplicity of things, of someone just not loving you right, or someone just not being real with who they are, or maybe they wasn't real about a situation. The simplicity, what does it take to just acknowledge wrongdoing? What does it take to just conversate about it and just agree to disagree, or maybe just go your own way? What does that take? It doesn't take anything. Yeah, it doesn't take anything. But yet, those are the type of things that destroy marriages. I can't take this. Look, it's just horrible. And then I got the Bussy and Disabel regime after me like somebody owe them something. I don't owe you nothing. I'm not submitted to anyone. And all that bullying, do or die, or whatever, was being said before I decided to start back going, let my face be shown, what, and I was just recording. All that stuff right there, you don't owe me. I never submitted to you. I never agreed to anything. And some people try to, get you into trouble, or try to, make you seem like you the fault of something just so you can end up running to some people and being submissive to them at the end of the day. I had a lot of that going on, with ministry. You know what I'm saying? Try to, you know, just like suck you in like, oh, they did you wrong, come over here. No. And I'm looking at you too. Same rules apply. People, you got to stay out your feelings and stick to what's real. A helping hand ain't always a good hand either. And that's real. Even though I never really got a helping hand, I got some support from, the leader that I have gave his credit to, and said that I will always have honor for him and his wife. Though them, that husband and wife, they did reach out. He did reach out. I supported them. They together as a team was supportive. I know they was praying for me, so on and so forth. But it just didn't work out because you know what it is. And I do not like lies. I don't like them. Accountability is one thing. Like I said, I don't think I'm perfect. We all mess up every day. Every day we mess up. Every day we mess up. Is that good to continue that way? No. But this is it right here. This is all. I'm not finna drink a fifth. I'm not finna do nothing crazy. Everything within moderation. I can't teach you from that perspective spiritually, once again. Because one thing I know, I believe holiness is right still. Some people don't have that perception or perspective. They don't have that. You know, it's the same conversations we have already talked about over and over again. But at the end of the day, God is holy. And people say, well, what you doing? Trusting God, loving God, and gonna continue being the truth. And if he come tonight, if he come whenever he gonna see Sabrina Monique Guy for Sabrina Monique Guy, and he know what's in her heart, just like he know the numbers of hairs on her head, and he already know I'm true, and I appreciate him for that. And I am upset with some things that I had to go through just from people intentionally cursing and making it hard for me. Yes, I am. Some things was very much my fault as well. But that's a different story because, to be honest with you, if I would have never had to experience people intentional hate, I think I would have been pretty good. I don't think I ever would have turned bad. And that's the truth. Yeah. And people say, well, it had to happen so you could be better and all that, and all that little stuff like that. Some things don't have to happen. And it's that part right there that keeps me going like I am going. And I leave it as that. You can't tell haters too much. You tell them too much, it's a doomsday. Because sometimes they can't be in whatever else in what you have said. Sometimes they can't be a part of that. And they get mad just because you told them your vision, you told them your dream. But that didn't mean that it was going. And I did used to be serious about, making, creating something. But the truth that I spoke, I think it done shined a lot of light. Excuse me. It has changed some things. People won't never give that honor and that credit where it's due, but at the same time, I'ma just stay true. It don't matter. I know what's going on over here. You better worry about what's going on with you and what you can create and how you can keep being successful and so on and so forth. Because like I said, I reached out to ministries. Hey, can you help me with this? I give you an idea in exchange for whatever, whatever, and it's just like, oh, you ain't nothing, but I'm gonna keep on acting like I'm repping you. I'm gonna keep on acting like I'm with you, but I really can't stand you. But I really want to see you fall. I be paying attention to everything. And I'm just saying, I just thank God for whatever has helped happen, you know, intentionally, unintentionally. I can't even stand. Is some things I'm not thankful for. Yeah, some things I'm not thankful for. Some things because it just don't make no sense to have to live a hell people put you in just because of their haterism. Speaking of, I grab one quick thing before I get off of here real quick. And this is there was just a law passed with Mississippi, Texas, and Louisiana. It's a ban on massive protests. A lot of people don't take the ban seriously, but I think it should be taken very seriously. I understand what they're saying because of the big, massive protests, and it's so many haters. Whether it's for the opposing side or the conflicting side, we don't know what happens at those rallies. We don't know who what sources can be trusted to say that to say what side actually did something wrong. For instance, it was something that took place at a protest. Somebody threw a rock at the police, and each side was trying to prove its innocence. They really couldn't find out who it was, but they blamed the organizer of the protest, which was very unjustly, and it was not justified because just because he organized it didn't mean that he was responsible for the police being hit. And because of these type of narratives that can always be staged and created, we most definitely have to pay attention to the truth. And so furthermore, Mississippi, Texas, and Louisiana decides to have a ban on protests. Well, that band and that law that was passed through legislation it does violates rights, and it needs to be taken up to the Supreme Court. There can be better, there can be measures set to where we don't get confused in these things, like not protesting where surveillance is not available. Let's try that one first, okay, before we just take away our First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of protest. So, me saying, the underlined in terms of things, I really do believe that the truth is that their agenda and their plan is most definitely to take away, action and activism. Activism, yeah. They don't want any activists, excuse me, and they're trying to get away with it by covering in, large groups don't need to gather. While it would keep the peace and maintain peace, people still do have the right to protest peacefully. Everyone is not going to behave like the rioters in January the 6th. So that needs to be amended because we want to be careful not to take away rights. Just like, those same rights you wanted, not to take the vaccination and, to wear masks, those type of rights is what I'm talking about. And so with that being said, though that needs to be looked at by the Supreme Court. Most definitely, because when you go to talking about, you don't want activists, speaking, and you don't want activists to be, it's a ban on being an activist. Next thing you know, it'll be a ban against massive communications. So these are the things that I say, you got to make sure everything has a limit and a balance, not to overtake your rights, as American citizens. And speaking of taking over rights, this comes at a fine time where voting rights is on the line. And I just watched Representative Raskin, Democratic leader Raskin, have this debate about illegal immigrants voting. But we do, sir, we do, Congress, need to have the conversation about voting rights. The filibuster needs to be removed because we have election coming up, and election is either going to count or it's not. I do still encourage every all to go and vote. It's important. We have to vote. We have seen games in Congress played out over and over again. It's just they want, it's almost like some in there just want this one America where only one race matters, only one way of life is accepted, and that's just not what this nation stands for. And again, we do need limits on certain things, but not limits that take away and deprive us of our freedom, of our truth, of democracy, and democracy as well. So with that being said, I most definitely you know disagree with that. And I said Mississippi, Tennessee, Louisiana. I thought about either MAGA 2 lead, MAGA 2 lead, MAGA 2 lead, majority to lead, or miracles to lead. Woo. Let it be the third one, Lord. God, let it be miracles to lead in these southern states that have a mentality to try to deprive someone of their rights, try to deprive people of their freedom. Let it be miracles to lead in these southern states. Mississippi, Tennessee, Louisiana. Of course, I'm always, going to pray. I'm always going to believe no matter what. I'm always going to look and believe, the best of everything, because what people don't realize, even though they do things intentionally to hurt people and to see them suffer and everything like that, when it's you can't do nothing but help remember what you did, what kind of position you was in to make choices upon other people as such. Yeah. Yeah. When it happens to you, it won't be so cool. When it happens to you, it won't be so, fun and games and everything like that. You play around with people's lives, with the games you play. Hush! With people's lives. Yeah. That part. So, yeah, it's just something to think about. But I don't think that, yeah, I don't think that. I think that should go up to the Supreme Court and be challenged, most definitely, because next thing you know, we'll have what DeSantis is doing over there in Florida now. This age group is banned from social media, but next thing you know, he'll be telling adults they'll be banned, in my opinion. Things like that, because it's things where it's limitations. Like I say, it's restrictions, things kids shouldn't be watching, so on and so forth. I've get this example over and over again. I don't want to go into it now. You have rated R, rated PG things on social media. Their parents can simply just put it on kids only, that type of stuff. You didn't have to take away the right, but give the parents the choice of that particular issue. At the same time, you have to be careful. I don't want my life to lie in the hands of or be in the hands of a oppressing leader, a selfish leader. at the end of the day, they're just going to do what they want to do. At the end of the day, it's going to be all about them and their families, as I have said before. And that's what we don't want. So I will encourage you again to go out and vote. I will encourage you again, to register to vote. And just don't let this, just don't sit back on this. Is very important. Okay, so I just want that to be most definitely taken seriously, because like I said, you're gonna want to like, comment, and subscribe to this video, so that way when I do pop up, you will know, what's going on, because this is something that I'm not going to continue to do, really, but every now and then I may, come on and do a live or something like that. But this is really not for me, because I'm more of a private person, and I love my space, and I love to just live and do me, even though my screen can record anything that I'm doing. And people wonder why I can't stop drinking. You know how irritating that is? That you don't even want to go out and do nothing, because don't watch me. Whether it's something you need to look at or not, or need to worry about or not. Don't watch me if you don't have a purpose to watch me, except for the truth I speak. That's a little spooky, isn't it? It most definitely is. So, yeah, I'm believing miracles to lead. Yeah, miracles to lead. Not MAGA to lead, not majority to lead, but miracles to lead. That's what we're praying for at the end of the day. And so I'll just leave on that note. I'll be through with it. I don't think I have too much of anything else to say. I'm making sure I say that was my main concern. Yeah, on that massive protest ban. And then we would need to define massive. And I think that can be an alternate with that, with surveillance cameras at whatever, place this massive protest decides to take place at. um Most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, and then I want to go ahead and correct also, because I said that I wasn't sure of the about Matt Gates, and the allegations that was, said that he most definitely was with a 17-year-old female at a party where there was a lot of drugs and so on and so forth. And nothing was, I get from the sources that I watch, I guess it wasn't one of the sources that I watched covered, this particular topic. And I guess it was just that he was just there. I'm not sure, what exactly happened. That's where the then 17-year-old would have to kind of testify, and then even have some type of proof, because like I said, for someone to say something and for something to be what it is two different things. So we want to make sure, you know, something is what it is, no doubt. Um, but I don't know. It still don't look good, because I think one source was saying, he said that he wasn't there, but then he was there. See, something wrong with that right there. He wasn't there, but then he was there. Uh, uh, no, indeed. And what else? Yeah, Yeah, I think that's about it. I was still concerned about the Zionists in the tunnel in New York. Where did they come from? Are they Arabic? I don't think they're Iranian. I don't think so. But why would they be there in a tunnel, under the tunnel? And if they do have ties with Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is cool with the prime minister, because that deal that Trump had going on, and they hide under tunnels, and Hamas hiding under tunnels. Ain't that something? I just still find it strange that Trump praised all of them: Hamas, Hitler, and Putin. Those three. I just can't get over this. And with these classified documents, and what did you really know? Which I think Stormy said Trump had told her some stuff, and so it's more than just the money he paid her for prostitution. If she can, testify to some things that he, especially if she can testify to some things that have went down or exposed an agenda. Ooh, excuse me, or expose an agenda that he was trying to do. I mean, he basically already have exposed himself, praising Hamas, Hitler, and Putin, and your whole MAGA regime going for Putin. What in the world is going on? You know, these are the times you wish that prophets and everything could really hear. And that'll open up a can of worms and people like, well, I only hear in my lane and all this and all this and all this. But yeah, um, it'll be good to know. But until then, because we don't know, we just have to keep praying in truth and trusting God in truth at the end of the day. And that's just it. That's just all. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I hope you all continue to enjoy your day. Stay true, stay, safe. Make sure you say your prayers all the time. Stay in tune to what's going on. And again, like, comment, subscribe, share, and make sure you hit the post notification bell. So when I pop up in times like this, you'll know what's going on. And nevertheless, be true and stay true all the time. Don't forget it. Be confident in yourself. Trust, and believe in all things that you want to and desires. As long as it's the right way, hey, what's wrong with that? Nothing.